Here's another of Barnum's freak shows that were incredibly popular because it was like no other. It was an astonishing view that left tons of people puzzled. I present to you Prince Randian, the living torso. Prince Randian's specific date of birth is unknown, but it was around 1871. He was born in Demerara, British Guiana. Now, Prince Randian wasn't even his name. What we know about him are the statements made by P.T. Barnum. His parents were from India, and although his first language was Hindi, he could speak English, German, and French just fine. Prince moved to the Virgin Islands late 1800s with his wife, Princess Sarah. Again, not her real name. Prince was minding his own business when, in 1889, P.T. Barnum visited the island and stumbled upon him. Barnum was shocked and immediately invited him and his family to work for him at his museum. They all accepted and went their merry way. Now, why was Barnum so surprised by Prince's existence? He had a condition called tetra-amelia syndrome, a dangerous congenital disorder that prevents the extremities from growing as usual. There could be more malformations in the skeleton, heart, eyes, head, lungs, and other vital body parts. So to see Prince perform his day-to-day life as usual while missing 4 of his limbs was astonishing. Enough for Barnum to pay for everyone's expenses only to bring him to the US with him. He was called the human torso, but he was also known as the human caterpillar, the human worm, and the snake man. The act was just him existing. That's it. Prince was a little under 3 feet and dressed in a red and white striped onesie. He would write, light a cigarette, eat, and move around the stage by wiggling his shoulders and hips like a snake in front of an amazed crowd. And for sure, it was impressive. He will use his mouth to grab objects and sometimes maneuver more than one between his teeth. For Prince, it was normal, but for the spectator, it was surprising, frightening, and shocking. Exactly what Barnum saw. But he also witnessed perseverance and lots of strength in Prince. Right at the very end of the 1800s, at the beginning of the 19th, Prince and his wife had 4 kids together. They settled in New Jersey in the 1920s and stayed there while Prince was in New York City at the Barnum's Museum. The act was getting them real money. The most well-known performance was him lighting a cigarette with his mouth while juggling a match between his teeth and lighting it with his lips. Prince saw how interested the people were in his regular chores that it pushed him into learning new tasks like painting, drawing, and even shaving. Now, talk about the shaving part. He was a well-kept man, and he would shave by positioning the blade still while moving his face back and forth. The box where he stored all his shaving equipment was a well-made, painted, and secure wooden box made by himself. He liked carpentry so much, he joked about how someday he will build his own house. I cannot tell you enough how trendy his act was. He was so famous, he appeared in the 1932 movie Freaks, where he made the cigarette trick. Prince kept his act for more than 40 years. People from all over the world wanted to see him. On December 19 of 1934, at 6 p.m., and after finishing performing at the Sam Wagner's Museum, Prince had a heart attack that took his life. He was 63 years old. Prince's act was so big that at his death, he earned $1 million, and we're talking about the 1930s. That was big money. An impeccable model of determination and desire to excel. Regardless of his limitations, Prince went on with his life as if he never needed the legs and arms he didn't have. He is a perfect example of how we can be our worst enemies and best supporters, and Prince for sure was his best friend until the very end. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. Stay safe.